What's good, everyone? Hope everyone's doing all right. Okay, so Kevin Federline has now dropped two video recordings of Britney arguing with her sons as a response to what she said on Instagram. So I'm gonna read what she said on her Instagram that made him respond in that manner. There's a lot of paragraphs, so here it goes. Let me get to this. It's rather long. Okay, this is what Britney said on her Instagram. Okay, she said, just another day here in my new adorable neighborhood I live in. It's honestly really cool. I take my dogs to this tiny park and I see how incredibly smart my baby dogs are. They actually sense that we are in a new place at the park and they absolutely love it. Daisy literally runs around with her mouth open. But the little white puffball tried to run away the first time. So I keep them close. I haven't really shown my house yet because it's hard to completely embrace it. Yes, it's beautiful, but I miss my other house for some reason. It's hard for me to let go of things I truly love. Like my kids, the situation should have 100% been dealt with privately and definitely not online. A British network claimed that their stepmom's goal is to keep the children away from all the controversy and trauma in my house. I have love in my home and I have blessings from the people I allow in and out of my home. I looked forward to seeing my kids every week. It was 2 days a week, but I asked him to ask to stay for more days, maybe 3 days, but then the next week they stayed for only 1 day. Yeah, I know that teenagers are just hard to deal with at that age, but come on, there's being rude, then there's being hateful. They would visit me, walk in the door, go straight to their room, and lock the door. The monitor would tell me that he just likes to be in his room. I'm like, why come visit me if they don't even visit me? But I never said that because I have to be kind. Remember, if I speak up as a woman or say something argumentative like I did with a dance. Hey, Taryn, how are you? Moving, move saying no to it. I got sent to that place for 4 months. So I dare speak up and show my upward thoughts of being a real woman and possibly offend the person in front of my face. No, I take it and I keep my mouth shut. It registers right in my core of my stomach. It hurts and I want to scream. I want to shake their shoulders and say, wake up, I'm here too. The teenage age is weird. I don't know what's going on in their heads. We would always do prayer time. Not really prayer time, that sounds silly, but it's called devotion, where you read 2 or 3 pages in a prayer book and talk about it. I always tried, and maybe that's why they stopped coming here. I wanted them to love me so much that I might have overdone it. This summer, they told me we may come here less, and I was like, that's fine. I called their dad and I told him that it seems like the boys are wanting to stop coming here as much, which I get because they have their own thing going on. But I feel like they are being pretty harsh. Its words were, I would never let them make that decision on their own. I would never do that to you. Well, after that, I haven't seen them since. I will say, though, as available as I had to be for 8 people a day when my dad took me out of my home for 4 months, it's been kind of nice not having to ask about which day the boys coming this week and making me wait 2 or 3 days for a reply. But again, it's just another way for my family to make me feel like absolutely nothing. We will let you know, Mom. When can we see you? So as much of you watch what he refers to his family as the perfect Brady Bunch family, I can guarantee you that house was more has more weed than Ludacris, 50 Cent, Jay-Z, and Puff Daddy combined. He wants to bring up my past with that bald-headed, peckerhead face Kaplan and circle back to that hard time in my life. That was almost 20 years ago. Their game doesn't work anymore. In those years of the conservatorship, I had to become a fucking saint with the pain I had to endure by keeping my mouth shut and my stomach as they literally took my womanhood away from me. I made up for the past mistakes and more in that time. My sister does it. She speaks up in her household and corrects people. But how come whenever I did it, it was considered a threat? Oh shit, he might have to get involved with this one, but if he did, he would say, sit down, we need to talk. First thing was always, nobody likes you. Then the rest of it was, I guess, due to whatever I said. It was basically, how dare I say something to offend others and make them think for a change. Anyways, I know it's all worded it out, but you know what? I talk about it because my heart doesn't understand cruelty. It breaks my heart because it seems to me that these days cruelty does in fact win, although it's not about winning or losing, but I can't process how I dedicated 20 years of my life to those kids. Everything was about them, for them to knock the breath out of me. See, you can't fix me. No therapy or sense of worship can fix my heart. I will forever have trauma, and I know this. I've accepted it. It would take a miracle to fix my heart, and not one miracle, maybe three. Either way, I have a beautiful pool, a supportive husband, and 5 dogs. Okay, I'm much, but that's how I love, and have a good day. Okay. So from that post, Kevin Federline was obviously triggered. So him and he's also his sons and everyone else in the family decided to post videos. And mind you, it's from years ago. It's when the boys were like 11 or 12 years old. So I'm gonna show you all the videos he posted. I'm gonna share it just a second. Let's see here. Okay.
They thought something was wrong with me because I had your boobs are poking out. Come in here when we're trying to go to bed, and then you just go and you say, "It's my house. If I forget something, this is my house. If I want to come in here and give you lotion for your face because it is coarse, and all you tell me, no, it's fine, it's fine. No, it's not fine. You all better start respecting me. Are we clear?" Yeah. And when Robin calls, and you're all, even Robin's a fucking kid. She goes, "What have you been doing to your kids?" You all need to start treating me like a woman with worth. I am a woman, okay? Be nice to me. Do you understand? Yeah. Lost your fucking mind. Have you lost your fucking mind? I do care, but I'm shocked as fuck with you. And I don't know what to do. And I'm scared of you because you're weird, because you're going through puberty. I don't know what to say. But I do care more than you know. But don't be, my little body can't handle all of that. It's like sometimes I just don't even know what to say with you. I was in shock. And I do care.
If you really cared, you wouldn't take my phone away for literally.
I was in shock in the store when I looked down and Jaden, how are you so cool about that? Your brother being with Bear's big feet, size 13 now?
Well, he's my brother.
All the more exposed his feet, your blood in an ice cream shop in Alaska weather? Don't you think that's a little odd?
No.
Yeah, I think your phone should be gone.
Okay.
Yeah, for a very long time.
Yeah. For not wearing shoes.
Yeah. Yeah.
My phone's just gonna be taken away forever. Because you know what, Jaden? Mom decides to take it away for me not wearing shoes.
Jaden?
That's hilarious. Jaden obviously thinks
Are
that's...
you wanting attention, baby? Is that why you're saying you
Well,
can't say?
apparently I wanted to do that in the first place, but you keep interrupting every sentence I say. So
No,
what
but
I
so-
seem like in my mind, I think you just care about yourself because you won't let us speak one word and you won't let us go
Say what you
anywhere
wanna
we
say.
want to go.
I want to hear what you have to say. I'm listening.
Well, I forget because you interrupt me and then I forgot what I'm going to say. That's
Do
all
you want to skate? Is that what you're doing?
No, I don't know how, and I didn't want to go to that place, and we never agreed to it.
Roller skating. I mean, ice skating, baby, is easier than roller skating.
Why are we
Roller
not-
skating is actually harder because the grips on the ground are like raw, like rock, like that. It's smooth on ice. Ice is like smooth, like a skateboard. See, actually, skateboarding is way.
Okay, so you all seen those two videos Kevin Federline leaked. So, yeah, what stood out to me, I thought it was wild, like, and mind you, this is during the time she was on conservatorship. You know, this is old stuff. This is nothing recent. So, yeah, she came in their room in the middle of the night bitching about them being lotion. It's like it came off kind of mommy dearest ish shit, you know. It's like who wakes up in the middle of the night just to do that? So, I mean, Kevin Federline, he was basically showing how contentious it been in the household. And what I noticed, like her southern accent came out. You can hear the Louisiana coming out of her. But yeah, that was one thing that stood out to me. And and then there was another clip, right? When they were in a car and she went on like shaming one of them for going through puberty and shit. Like, I mean, that's normal. But yeah, I mean, she took their phone. She took their phone from one of them because they were walking around barefooted out in public, right? But here's the kicker, though. That's what she was doing back then, right? She, walking barefooted at a gas station. If you look at previous paparazzi pics from over the years. So yeah, Kevin did that as a response to her posting. Because in her post that I read to you all, it did come off like she was blaming her sons. And it's like, you know, they're a product of their circumstances. It's like, you're their mom. So they had to witness what you were going through. And, you know, and she has mental problems, which she can't help. But, you know, and not only that, I mean, her and Kevin, they initially had 50-50, you know, as far as custody goes. They shared custody. And then that situation when her father physically attacked one of the boys kind of hurt her custody because then she started seeing them less after that happened. And the dad had a restraining order on him and all that stuff. So, yeah. But yeah, Britney, you know, like I said, she's not perfect. And neither is K-Fed because it's like, dude, it's because of Britney, you and your wife don't have to work, okay? And the thing is, he chose to want to be interviewed with some British tabloid, right? All of a sudden. Is it because she's taking her dad to court? Is that it? It's the timing with me. And then he's like praising Jamie, which is her dad's name or whatever, if you didn't know that. But yeah. And it's like everyone has benefit off of Britney, a mentally ill person. Now, during that time, did she need to be on conservatorship? You know what? Somewhat, because you know what? She was dealing with a lot of shit and she had a mental breakdown. And she was doing a lot of erratic stuff. Like, for instance, like, she didn't, like, during the time when her children were infants, right? She had one of the boys sitting on her lap while she was driving. And then then there was another incident where the paparazzi was after her and she almost dropped her kid. So it was little stuff like that. And then what caused the conservatorship, she locked herself in the bathroom with one of her boys and refused to leave the room. And so, yeah. So it was a lot she was dealing with. And my thing is this, like, she didn't need to be on it long term because we see the results. She had her rights taken away. They medicated her on top of that. Like, there was certain medicines, right? You have to make sure a mentally ill person is taking the right meds. So not only that, she was over medicated, and sometimes it can cause you to feel like you're a zombie. So they did shit like that. They took away her rights. And my thing is this, like, just because someone is mentally ill, right? That doesn't give her family the right to be greedy. If you really truly cared about Britney's mental state, you should have just been taking care of her mental health instead of you trying to be greedy and have her overworked to take care of all the rest of y'all. That was explorative, and the thing is, she's been in the business for a year since she was a child. And they just been always dependent on her to be taken care of. And that's not cool. And, since he dropped those videos, her attorney came out on her behalf and basically shut that shit down. So all those posting Kevin Federline put out is removed, and I found out his account is suspended. So her attorney put out a statement saying whether he realizes it or not, Mr. Federline has not only violated the privacy and dignity of the mother of his children, he has undermined his own children, whose privacy he should protect. In addition to demeaning himself and violating societal norms, he has now also created various legal issues for himself, including, but not limited to, implicating cyber harassment and cyberbullying statutes, among other things. We are working with Instagram to ensure that Mr. Federline adheres to its rules, and we are exploring all appropriate relief against him. We urge Mr. Federline to act with a measure of grace and decency and to cease from publicly discussing private matters which benefits no one. Hey, Jacksonville, how are you? So yeah, in my opinion about all this shit should really be private. None of this shit should be out there publicly. And these people, all of them, they need to get some family therapy, like real talk. Like, this is not a place to bring all this up, It should be kept private. And it's sad with Britney, right? Because of what she dealt with during her whole conservatorship, she was abused by the mental health community. So she has this distrust now to go to therapy, and it's like, she needs therapy because I mean, she needs to learn how to navigate because even like you can she can't help it, but even like when you read her posting, it's just like all over the place. And I feel like she's just trying to get a lot out because she wasn't allowed to speak up all those times because she was restricted. So, and I just wish she would just not do a whole lot of talking. Just let your attorney handle all of that, And I feel like, unfortunately, I don't feel she's ever going to get to her old self again. Like, it just seems like, this is how she is. And she can't help that. And, my best advice, like, I can give to her, she just needs to go therapy and work out some things. And she needs to try to have a better relationship with her sons, because not only that, they're victims as well, of their circumstances, witnessing all that stuff going on with their mom and stuff. It can't be easy for any child. And Kevin Federline, again, he should handle things privately. Like, just comes off like you're exploiting the situation. And it's not helping anyone because at the end of the day, it's hurting the children overall. So I'm gonna say another thing like stood out in her posting, right? She brought up, right, and I'm offended by it, that posting she said. When she brought up how K-Fed has more weed than all these black celebrities she named. Okay, she named Jay-Z, Diddy, Ludacris, and 50 Cent. How random. Okay, first of all, just because someone smokes weed doesn't make them a bad person. Is it getting away of you raising your kids? If not, then no, you're not a bad parent. Not only that, she like racially stereotyped these celebrities because first of all, if I remember correctly, 50 Cent does not do drugs, let alone drink. So if she really wanted to make a point, she could have named Willie Nelson. She could. There's plenty of white people who smoke weed. And she could have brought up Snoop Dogg or Wiz Khalifa. Like, why she had to bring up a bunch of random black celebrities? It's almost like she's racially stereotyping all black people as weed smoker, and people smoke weed regardless of race. Like, that's crazy to me. And it's like, come on now, get together, Britney. So that's the only thing that stood out to me where I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm going to tell you what I noticed about her, right? I know, like, she's 40, right? It's like her mind is like stuck in the 2000s. Like, it seems like she hasn't moved past of things, if you notice. Like, everything she talks about, it's really stuck on some 2000s. And I just think she's kind of like mentally stunted, And like I said, she, therapy can help her. It really can. I mean, it won't solve all the problems, but it's better than nothing. And I hope that guy she married is like really concerned about her health, her mental health, and not just taking advantage of her like all these other people have. Because, I mean, like I said, Britney, like I said, I just feel like she's not handling things maturely, she has to also understand, your sons, they're affected by all the things that you dealt with, you have to take that account as well. It's not their fault, they're children. And I think that she should not be so quick to like blame them. Like, come on, let's be real. Teenagers, they don't want to be around their parents like that. That's just what it is. And she just like doesn't get that. She doesn't understand. So yeah, again, that's my take. I just feel like they need to just keep this shit private and just handle things as a family. Go to some family therapy, something like, cuz it's well needed. And Kevin Federline, get he need to get his shit together as well, because again, dude, child support is ending very soon for you, okay? So you're going to have to find other ways to make money instead of living off of fucking Britney Spears, cuz let's be real. He only did all these interviews because he knows his child support is going to end very soon. That's all. Okay? So, like I said, yeah. So, that's all I have to say about that. Oh, speaking of therapy, Pete Davidson has a trauma therapist. So, he's going to therapy because of all the trolling Kanye's been doing towards him online. Him and Kim recently broke up. And so Kanye trolled him saying Skeet dead at 28 on his Instagram post. So yeah, the dude is have a trauma therapist to deal with all of Kanye's going at him or whatever. So yeah. Oh, and Angela Yee is leaving Breakfast Club. So she wants to have her own show, which is going to be on iHeartRadio. And she said she wants to take part in finding a replacement. So they're going to find someone to replace her on Breakfast Club. So yeah. But anyways, just want to touch on that Britney Spears and K-Fed situation. And I really hope things will get better for her. I really do. So yeah, about to get off of here. You all have a wonderful night. Till next time. Peace.